Okay. Let's do this thing. Oop. Hey, look, it's all my screenshots from all the episodes of things that I've done. Saving path. Does that mean it's possible to get these out of here without it being a screenshot? That would be cool. Okay, let's see. Get this open over here. And on the rare thing that I usually never do, I'm going to post that I'm going live. Do. Yo, thank you. It's gotta be Crawdad. No? Crawdad was over here. Let's see. And on top of that, we have music today in the background as well. Okay, places I haven't flown. I want to invade some countries. Go figure. Let's see. Telling a few people that I'm going live just because it's my birthday. Hello, Valeska. Thank you. Okay. We need the bad bitch here. Always like griffins. Sick. Fuel and payload. Also, Mr. Southeast Aviation, if you haven't noticed, I'm in a new chair. That is thanks to our channel sponsor, Valeska7. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to invade Paris. I don't know how to put it other than that. Don't think it matters where. We'll find a good spot. Actually, that there looks good. We're gonna come from... Don't like the UK. See, doesn't the time run through Paris? So we can like follow the river up. Take off from here, follow the river in. That sounds like a plan to me. I'm going daytime. Flight conditions don't matter to me. It's my birthday. Hit them as they're waking up. The channel sponsor. And I guess technically she's not a channel sponsor, she's just somebody that I'm very lucky to know. Let's see. Oh, we gotta pre-flight this bad boy, don't we? God, that's a cool paint job. It's the Navy, but you know, whatever. I like how they're all called static port covers, even though they're not. Is that all? There's no static on this side that I'm missing. Okay, cool. Good enough. Let's see. Let's get into this. Feel very cozy in here. I need to scoot backwards a little bit, maybe a little bit. Okay, let's see. Alt backwards. Maybe a little up. Okay, cool. That's about as good as it's gonna get. So we'll just kind of go from there. Starting checklist, I don't need that. This is only one of the most technologically advanced helicopters to ever exist. Who needs a starting checklist? Especially when we're invading another country. Like, no big deal. So battery should be over here in this main area. Don't need to worry about that right now. APU on. Fuel pump. APU. Get that going. No. I want that full crossfeed. Go pack without. APU's running. Got me controller here. This means I can start external power. Start flashing that light for everybody. I'm going to put engine ignition to normal so I don't forget that later. Yeah, this is just me epic furying around, so not around the world. Around the world will be a morning stream. I'm predicting sometime after Thursday. I work Thursday. After that, I'm done working on this TV show, so I'll have nothing but time at that point. So that's good. Turn it to on. We'll do left engine start. Get her spinning. Heats. Am I happy? I'm pretty happy. Okay. Let's take some sugar here. Low rotor RPM, I'm well aware. Anything else I need to know? Tail wheels lock, parking brake still on, that's good. That should be good spread. Oopsie. Okay, cool. I think we're good. Okay, French people. I would tell you that I'm going to be picking up to depart your stinky little baguette that you call an airport. But I'm not here to ask permission. Also, I'm not here to use your runway either. So you can take this cheese and you can go take it down to Italy and complain to them about their spaghetti, because I don't care.
Roll right, roll right!
Roll right, roll right. Shut up, I'm rolling left. I don't even know what this town is called, but they're gonna know what freedom sounds like.
Pull up, pull up!
Pull up, pull up! Little computer lady, such a bitch. We're only doing 165 miles an hour. Don't know what the big dizzle is. $273 is nice. Where were they out of? Were they doing like coastal flying and then made their way up? Well, it's a cool little ridge here. And it sucks that it's in France, but lucky for them, I'm changing who the owner of this place is. The people up here don't have to worry about flooding. Meanwhile, the people down here do. It's the downside about being poor enough to live down here in the flats. Bitch and Betty, as I call it. Speaking of cool names, dang, I can't think of it right now. Anyways, an old warbird landed up at Falcon Field, the one in Peachtree City. I forget what its moniker is. It is called Placid Cassie. And it's this one here. So, here, I'll hold it there a little bit longer. Nah, both of them came from Auburn and then left going different ways. Oh, weird. Interesting. So we're not even on the main river right here. We're just on the little service canals. Cliffs are neat, though. It sucks that it's French, but I mean, the cliffs are neat. So we'll give that to them. Oh, also, depending on how Thursday goes, it's a very short day from what I've been threatened with. Oh no, this one's one that flew in and will be there until Friday. And if you just show up, you can get a tour of it. But this is Placid Cassie is the name of it. Yes, but I will be flying for a few hours. So yeah, depending on how Thursday goes, I've been threatened that it's only going to be a late hour day. I have no idea how long it'll be there. My friend works at that airport, or at one of the schools there, as a mechanic, and he sent me pictures of it, so I'm unaware of what any sort of departure times would be. But depending on what call times are, which for those of you unaware, call time is the time that I am told we're flying the power lines here.
Pull up! Pull up!
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. It's either that or hit a power line. I know we've got cutters on here, but I don't want to test them. Okay, that sunrise is kind of brutal. This sunrise is kind of brutal, so we're going to take your sunshine and move it a wee bit more up, so that way we can see your beautiful face. We'll just make it midday. But depending on what it looks like, call times at the time that I am told to report to work. There's generally a main crew call if I'm working in the first scene, or if you're just part of like the full-time crew. You're usually there at crew call or a little bit before crew call. Either way, I've been told that it should be an 8-hour day on Thursday. So if I get there at normal Thursday call time is like noon. So that puts me getting out of there at like 9 because of lunch and all that stuff. Great job. They went and canaled themselves in there, didn't they? But yeah. Ooh. How come she didn't tell me to roll right then? She's so inconsistent. But yeah, so depending on what that looks like. Oh, no, okay. So yeah, depending on what that looks like, then I may be getting home later. And if I'm getting home later and I'm feeling good and I've slept in or whatever, I may do a late evening round the world session. Because right now the general plan is sometime after Thursday to work on pulling off early morning as far as East Coast goes. Around the world session to catch the India area before sunset, or in their afternoon evening times for around the world session. But if I get home later on Thursday and I feel like I've got energy, I may hop in and do a 3-hour stint or so. Because I think right now if we're starting at like 9:30 to 10 o'clock, that puts us in like the sun's just rising times over there. Which I don't mind. Going to bed at 2 is not that bad, but I kind of enjoy getting up a bit early sometimes. Especially since working consistently, you try to keep a better sleep schedule. So yeah, potential Thursday evening, nighttime, around the world jam session. Getting done with the India area and start getting into conflict areas. So expect Blackhawk, expect Huey, expect MD500. I mean, I guess the 407's also used as a scout. 407 usage. We could be somebody else's military, do a 145. Does it matter? No. But also it's nice to kind of play the idea, play the time. Play the zone. I'm not saying a river would be the best place to have a home at, because obviously the lowlands there are going to get flooded from big rain. But hills near a river would be nice if it's a big enough river. Then you're watching commerce, so that could be a plus or a minus for you. I don't know if I'd like to see larger ships coming in and out of the area that I'm living in. But I feel like a lot of people in the Tennessee River Valley have to deal with that. Because that's just kind of part of it for Tennessee. France is kind of boring out here, no wonder. Place just got leveled. Also, it's weird seeing stuff like the forest and stuff here. Obviously, this is a higher area, so it's not being flood affected. You can just kind of assume geography from that, but there has to be some sort of land protection going on here, at least. I would assume. I do really want to do a World War II battlefield style tour around Europe. So Normandy and just following all the big fights down into France. I think that'd be really, really cool to see. Oh, also, when you're going to PDK Friday, are you planning on just spotting at the main spot up there where the bleachers are, or do you have a different area that you want to try to go hit? I've only really seen that main spot, and maybe if you walk up the road going up towards the helicopter areas, because our old buddy Helicopter King will film up in that area. Look at this estate here. Man, this is a cool view. Can I do a quick stop before I get to there? 160 knots. Dang. What are they calling it in France? Like a chalet or something like that? That's a spot. That's a spot right there. Dang, that's cool. Dude, that view right here would get rid of my whole, like, oh man, I don't want to see, like, shipping ships and transiting and barges and stuff going around the building. This right here would fix that. If you look out your window and you see an entire river valley, where you have like this hill that follows around there on the curve, holy crap. That's a spot right there. That's a good spot right there. I like that. I just Kid Rock the shit out of that. Did you see that the Army said that they were going to be looking into the pilots that went and hovered in front of Kid Rock's place to make sure there was no, like, rules or anything broken or if they did anything wrong? Lynn. Now you know my zodiac sign? Again, the worthless things. The doesn't matter sign. The doesn't change anything sign. Same where the helicopter can use to go to the end of the runway. It's much right there. Sean, thank you. It's a power pole. Killer Be Killed. Thanks, Tristan. Appreciate it, dude. Really purple. That pilot suspension was lifted. Yeah, that thing. Apparently Kid Rock said something along the lines of, leave those boys alone, and if worse comes to worse, I'm friends with the president, or I'm friends with the commander-in-chief, or something like that. Aries twin. Oh yeah, that's right, because yours is pretty close too, right? Isn't it, dude? Also, thank you. See, I waited until the end of the day yesterday when I was walking to my car. And I'm just like, okay, cool, Heather, I'll see you Thursday or whatever. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday. Then I hopped in my car and drove away. It was already running, ready to go. Ain't nobody singing happy birthday to me. Is this another cool estate here? Are we just estate hunting now instead of actually invading Paris? Because if all the estates are going to look like this, then that's kind of sick. And push forward. Dang, that road right behind it sucks though. Hopefully it's a relatively quiet road, but it looks pretty big. See what the review's like. Can we rooftop this thing with like the front gear? Where's my main gear? Behind me a little bit. Get a railing there. I don't know if this is possible. You could fast rope off the right there, but I don't know if I can hit that with a railing. I come this way. Yeah, we're sinking into it. Not a real roof. I'm not working Wednesday, which is tomorrow, but I am working Thursday, not as an on-set person, just as a helping wrap and also be there on the last day sort of person. Aries are the first in the zodiac, known to be stubborn, high energetic, competitive, and impulsive. Yeah, and I'll fucking fight you about it too. I'll fight to prove that I'm none of those. Take on whatever task it matters to prove that I'm not that. Guess I gotta go to France to look at old freaking battlefields and mansion chalets overlooking the water. There's another one down there, but it wasn't on top of the ridge, so I'm not interested. March 31st is Christopher Walken and Al Gore. I knew Al Gore. I didn't know about Christopher Walken. When I was a kid, we used to have a like a little picture frame thing on our wall, which may have been like a Christmas present or something to the parents for us or something. But it was like important birthdays in this lifetime, or on my birthday before then, historical events, things that happened, anything important that's happened on March 31st. I want to say Cesar Chavez was also a March 31st thing, but apparently people don't like him now. I don't know. I just read Instagram news stories and don't look into anything further. Beautiful church here. Did a religious tour going around like some old Orthodox places out here would be pretty sick. At least it's not Christopher running. Shut up. I know what time I was born, but I'm not going to tell you. I know precisely what time I was born to the minute. I would know the second if I could. Also, we've been doing a no-no this whole time. My tail wheel should be locked. A little village up here on the high plains. And even though it's flat, like at least this area, give or take flat, you know, but it's like river valley with like higher elevated plateau, not huge difference in altitude or elevation. So right here we're cruising 200 feet above the try to level off so we're not gaining anything. Keeping about 200 feet off the ground there. Oh dang, it didn't drop off as far as I wanted it to. I'm going to measure how high the cliffs were with the radar altimeter. Right there, that was just a 300-foot hill. Yeah, we'll see. You could know more than just my zodiac sign, but then that's just knowing more of what doesn't matter. Oh shit. Whoa. Whoa. Can't really show you this, but it's a teaser to that thing that I was working on. I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty fucking cool with Blackhawks and helicopters. This is top secret shit, y'all can't see it. Guys, damn, that looks good. Holy shit, dude, that looks fucking amazing. Oh, that looks so good. What do you mean, what was the point of that? Oh, no, I can't show you. Did you know that in Vietnam and traditionally everyone's birthday is the new year? So, like, the day that you're born doesn't matter, but just the fact that it's like, okay, cool, it's 2026 now, so you're now a year older. Tom, with $31 worth of Australian, how much does that... Is that real money or is that Monopoly? No shit. I'm messing with you. Fucking thank you. Also, good to see you in here again, dude. Throwing around money like that is no longer be Tom's R44, it's going to be Tom's AS350. Oh, guys, these teasers are fucking sick. I can't wait for you to see this. Tom with the gifted helicopters. That's like 12 cents. Also, are your Ocean View people doing anything for the flooding down there, or is that more other coast? I haven't paid attention to areas down there. Tom basically posted himself in emojis there because his name is Tom's 44, R44. Also, Tom, we're invading France right now. We're going to go take over Paris. That's the goal. We're in a halt. But yeah, dude, glad you're in here. Days are going to start becoming more normalized for me. Other side of the country, okay. Like, I've seen pictures and videos and stuff of it from a few helicopter people I follow down there. Like McDermott's got their Dolphin out there, and I've seen a couple of videos of 44s or 66s going in and out. But I didn't look at what state. Are they considered states down there? I didn't look at what state it was in, or either that or I didn't see. I just don't follow many news things on anything, really. So, I didn't know if you were there on that side or not. Either way, glad you're good. And even if you weren't, you know how to fly, so you can get you and the family out. So, it's a good thing. Yeah, nobody's ever invaded France. This is something completely new and unknown to them. I don't even think they'll know how to handle it. That's a telephone pole. We'll just make sure we're over that. Weren't that bad though. Yeah, why would somebody invade France? Cheese? Wine? Women who don't shave their armpits? Apparently French women are like top as far as cheaters in developed countries. Which is sad. They are sexually liberated. But anyways, yeah, so Tom, we're in France. Kind of coming in from the northwest and coming in to Paris. Oh cool, so we're most of the way there. were there in France. Yeah, so expect my Around the World series to become more regular again. The TV show I'm working on is pretty much done. I'll be done Thursday. So after that, I'll be able to stay up later when I need to start getting some of these completely opposite side of the world flight times down, or waking up early if I need to. Not having to worry about work schedule and other stuff. Yeah, well, this isn't an Around the World series. This is just me flying. Yeah, the Around the World series is still in India. Yeah, we're still in India. But we're just flying for fun today. Got a new chair, testing it out, thanks Valeska. And yeah, just like I'm doing the EMS thing as well, where some nights if it's not timing out right for an Around the World thing, we'll do an EMS flight type thing. You know, just to have fun, still get some stick time while we can. It's like this lady's never seen me fly before. Goodness. Also, if y'all have watched any of the coverage from the Heli Expo, land at your house, I still don't think I can. I don't think the yard's big enough at my house, IRL. I think if I had just me and a half tank of fuel, I could get a 22 out of my yard. 44, obviously I could. Just bigger rotor diameter, it makes it a lot tighter. Something like an MD with the like 5 blades, much shorter. That's definitely possible. Okay, we're definitely getting closer to Petty now. Cut some trees. I would. Definitely would. I need somebody to move into North Georgia somewhere with a little bit of property and enough room to land the helicopter. So I have an excuse to go fly into the mountains and build a hangar and move in. Let's see. Yeah, I could easily get the 22 in there. It's just out of there is the problem. Because even though technically, like, if you were to get rid of the house and the garage, I've got enough room. It's just a matter of getting over that bump of that's where the roof is and dodging the roof. And here in the game too, I've noticed, which last night when I was flying, we were going into the area where I did my confined area training. But when you look at a lot of these trees around here, I think these trees are even taller. You know, what are we at? We're at 50 feet height on these trees. I'm looking at the radar altimeter, that bottom right gauge on the my main screen there. So yeah, like the trees that we're really dealing with are like 80 to 100 feet tall in real life. Dancing the pedals. But yeah, 22, I know I could get in there. Getting it in is not the hard part. Getting it out, it would have to be me and light gas. Just because it becomes more or less like really it'd have to be a vertical straight out for a good 50 feet until I could get some forward movement. And then I would have to get another 40 feet of altitude over the distance of a house, which not bad. But the way that makes it easiest to get out is also not friendly for the way the winds usually go. Of course, winds change, wind's variable, but my yard's definitely not set up for helicoptering currently. If there's ever a thing where it's like, oh, okay, cool, we're going to take down some trees, and like my dad's already talked about an intention of making it landable, or more easily landable. Less max performance takeoff needed to get out of there landable. Yeah, I've also considered that about the not touching the ground, like going to my friend's house and just doing a hover. Of course, I'd take out the second control so he's not climbing over the collective as he gets in. But taking out the secondary controls and just going to hover in his yard to pick him up. But then again, the school seems to like me. I haven't flown a lot recently just because of money and everything. So it's less of a... It's been less for me, obviously. And the show just didn't use me as much as I was planning, so that's definitely way less. I made a fifth of the money I was assuming I was going to make. Oh yeah, we're getting up to Patty. I can see tall things out there in the distance. Or have him ride on the skid. He would, he's a stunt guy. What type of boats typically uses this? This is the time, right? Are they usually cargoes like this? It says general cargo, other. I figure the river's probably deep enough. Oh, I watched a video the other day on the time. And it was talking about the dredger that goes down the river. Is it a dredger? It's something. I think it's just like a bottom of the river recovery thing where they'll scan and find something. They bring out this thing. It's got like a noodle tube that comes at the bottom. It basically gives you a staircase to the bottom of the river because it'll like anchor down, suction down, something, like stick itself to the bottom, and then it creates a seal down there and you can walk on the bottom of the river. You'd ride on the skid? Yeah. I think it'd be fun. Yeah, guys, I was watching the that teaser thing. It looks good. I hope this thing becomes a thing. The studios would be absolutely idiotic to not pick something like that up, seeing the quality that could be created. Period. I wonder if A24 has ever done episodic type things. Also, you sent that as I was flying a Hawk in the simulator at home. Yeah, so that was the thing that I posted some pictures and videos and stuff of in the Discord and in the other things. But we had 3 helicopters present on some of the days of filming. The 145, the 125 uses the camera ship, and then of course the 60 for the cool hawk stuff. We shot a live minigun with live rounds, which is insane for a film production. And it looks so good. Dude, these buildings were visible from a long way out. I'm surprised on the render distance on that. Maybe that's because they've had a sim update for this region or something. I don't know. Either way, we're at the point now where flying below the radar is not going to do too much if we're flying over houses. So, we're going to have to, you know, change our approach to get to the city center over there. Pull up, pull up. Oh, that boat's having a day. Miss Renio. Is this bridge underable? Yes or no? I'm going to be reading these comments afterwards.
Pull up, pull up.
I'm not going to pull up. We're going to do it, lady. Hell yeah. Hell yeah!
Roll right, roll right.
What do you mean roll right? The earth is flat and it's a rather clear day. Speed bump in the river there. Not good for speedboats.
Roll left, roll left.
I wish there was a way to shut her
roll
up.
Left, roll left. Roll right, roll right.
She is so annoying. Flatten ourselves out like a Red Bull pilot right here for that. Skim the water. Up we go for the speed bump once again. Not good for speedboats. Beep, 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 beep.
Roll right, roll right.
These houses here getting a show. Do you have any idea how excited I would be if I had a 60 blast past my river house? Dude, their little twirly ass mustaches would fall right off as soon as you come by. And immediately a big bushy fucking lip broom would just show up and they wouldn't know what to do.
Roll right, roll right.
This one looks weird. Looks like it has a speed bump in the middle of it, so we're going to over that.
Roll right, roll right.
Yeah, that's a whole elevation thing that artifacts all these bumps in the river, which will eat us alive if we let it. There's old Patty. Looks like we got a long leg up this river here. But what we can do is skip that. Dude, the last time this has happened, Erica was playing on the freaking JBL speakers. Erica. Hell yeah. Basically a river, right? A lot of trees on this street. This looks like poop logs. Like we're in India. Hello, Harry. It's me, your boy. Which I don't really care about these buildings. We're heading over here towards the Fent Needle of France right there. Erica hits hard. I still love that video. What is this thing? It's like some modern art shit or something. That was weird. Oh. Strange. Who are you? Edge 540. Oh, he's flying a little stunt plane. Oh, is he doing a thing? Ain't gonna happen, bud. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Did you see that? It left, I could see the... like the dust on the ground when he pulled up. That was cool. Good rendering here.
Pull up! Pull up!
I was over flying around earlier, testing the chair out. That was bothering everybody coming into, where's the Fent Needle? Oh, there it is. I was bothering everybody coming into Atlanta, flying their little airliners coming in. That's the flying you want to do. With an edge down the street doing some sort of Red Bull stunt. Goodness. I have a feeling that's not what those boats look like. Okay, let's do a tour real quick since we're here. It's our town now. Is that the rural? How Princy. Just tell me what the things are when I look at them. Not that hard. I just want to find a stupid little art place. The Louvre. There it is. Helicopter King, what's up? I think those bridges are a little low. We did a couple of bridge bashes earlier, blasting through. I'll head upriver, see if we can find one to hit at like 140 knots or something like that. We're gonna steal the Mona Lisa real quick. Basically, we're invading France. I'm tired of their shit, so we're making it ours. Oh, is that Notre Dame? Is Notre Dame the double spire? I'm horrible at old churches. Actually, I'm gonna leave that on. Okay, here's the Laurel Museum. Their wrong pronunciation of everything. Very cool. Pretty big courtyard for me to be able to swing a freaking whip a shitty around in here like that. Let's go after Cuba. I wonder what the that is it. I wonder what the like photogrammetry and stuff in Cuba looks like, because here like they've obviously scanned a lot of this area. I can't believe out of all the stuff that they have like named, it's like obviously sightseeing tour where we have to see the Eiffel Tower. Will Black Hawk fit under the Eiffel Tower? I think so. Are we lined up enough for that? I don't think so. No, we're good.
Pull up!
But you would figure Notre Dame would have some sort of marking on it. Pantheon. Pantheon would be cool to see. I don't know. And like part of me is like, oh, I thought it would be bigger than that, but also like it was made how long ago? Something on the hill up over here which looks cool. Don't know what, but we're about to figure out. Oh, and don't want to say your first name, but Helicopter King. I just got some videos back from the people I was making that short with the Black Hawk and the 145 and the A-Star. Dude, some of these shots look so freaking cool. Where are you? No, I'm looking at you. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, if you watched any of the coverage or videos or clips from Helicopter Expo VAI Verticon, there were a few Black Hawks that flew in. The one that had the motorcycles on the side was flown by the pilot that was flying the Black Hawk for us for that short. T.I. Kennard, he's in a F-16 or something now. Show me F-18. Oh, that looks suboptimal. Eiffel Tower in Italy. The Leaning Tower of Eiffel. Let's go over here and bug this dude. Oh, he done respawned himself somewhere. Let's go find a helipad and slam ourselves down on it. A hot drop, if you will. Look at this building. The building looks like it should have something up there, right? We'll do one of my favorite type of approaches to a building, where you're pretty heavy on the power going up to it. You set your trajectory up, and then you level off on the collective to kind of let yourself float and change your angle coming up to it. You'll see. It looks cool. It feels cool. Just hoping one of these buildings don't spawn in like a freaking How's your picnic there, boys? Gonna hit that fast rope out of this bitch. Blowing everything around down there. And that's how you drop your homie off at a date. Even if you wanted to go on a date with them, whatever. Oh, that park's way too full of crap. I had a cool spot for you to fly to. Be interested to see what it's like on stream. On the game. Where is it? It's something you can say in the stream. If we're going to be there, then we're going to see it anyways. Somewhere where I know where it is, or landmark sort of thing. Let me know. Post it, or Discord, or Instagram, or something. But yeah, I'm kind of bored with this place. All the women here have armpit hair, and I'm just not that impressed. I was expecting better of France. You'll send map in DMs, Instagram or Discord, or yeah, let me know. So that way I go straight to it once we find a place to set this bad boy down at. Cool little park and stuff. Cool. We'll hit this racetrack once. Set her down and go fly somewhere else. So Tom's up with our next suggestion of places to go. Ooh, wait a second. We've got that tail wheel unlock, or else we're gonna end up breaking this helicopter and costing ourselves a lot of money. Nope. Nope. Not what I want. Alright, I'm supposed to have the APU on to turn off technically. But don't give a kizzle. Go somewhere with real chest hair. Oh, Paul, this is real chest hair. I earned every single strand Okay, let's see what the Tom suggestion is here. No Tom suggestion yet. We are waiting. No, I don't want you to be an idol. Don't know why you keep doing that. Can you stay on? Okay, cool. Bing, bing, boom, boom, boom. Take that, French. You're mine now. Okay, cool. Let's hop out of here. Let's get our vision straight. End flight. Let's see if Tom's sent us anything yet. Let's see. Catherine. Because that's near somewhere that we went to. Make sure I have all of our locations good. Don't think that's the right airport. Because we stopped at Daily Waters, I remember that. Just called Catherine Airport. There we go. Why was that so hard? And I still think that's the wrong Catherine Airport. Dang it. Okay, I gotta go headset up for a second. I'm also going to get out of VR mode. Catherine. There we go. Tyndall. Okay. Military base. I think the place you're talking about is here. Sorry for anybody trying to keep up. No, we gotta be further over. So there's big one. Coming down. This should be it here. cool. Let me know if that looks right. Back in Australia, dang. Yeah, we just can't get away from it. Let me know if this looks right, Tom. Because I'm 99.9% sure. I mean, this is location there for that, but it looks like this might be a better airport in Java. What is up with all these made-up names? The anchor is jammed into the outback. And in honor of Tom, I think VH is Australia, right? Yeah, cool. We'll run it. Looks correct. Yeah, all names are made up. Okay. Technically, you're not wrong. All names are made up. It's just like when somebody's been when they were born by C-section, they weren't born, they were removed. Your name was made up. Let's see, Shift C. Timothy Shamlet. Shamlay. Okay, cool, that feels right. Get out of here. Get going. All my homies are in here. What's up, guys? Damn, Tom, you're looking good over there, homie. Tom's in the back left. All that's turning on, warming up. Let me scoot back a wee bit. Look, Tom, if I'm flirting with you in this flight, and then that's your fault for showing up looking like that. I am definitely victim shaming you. Hope all that's up to speed. We're good for takeoff. Everybody, we make sure we victim shame Tom for showing up looking like a complete hottie back there. Oh yeah, do we need pedo heat? Really? Sure. Hello. A little bit of opposite day. There we go. Oh, going this way. Need to move my iPad a little bit lower. Here, you hold that. Matt finna act up. Oh. Wait a second. Hey, Tom. You know, look at me. I'm talking to you. It's a nice helicopter, isn't it? Well, I gotta get to the river first if I'm gonna fly there. You know, you could ask nicer. I don't know how this guy's flying up there. I don't think he has a license. Are you even gonna look in the window at any point? God. Tom's ignoring the shit out of me. Tom, please look at me, buddy. Bro, come on, don't make this weird. Oh. Here, I'll climb back up front. Okay. Enjoy your flight, honey. That's just weird. Why can't we see down shirt? Matt's gone too far. Hey, you're the one who showed up looking like that. What'd you expect? He's hitting up. It's my birthday and I've had this much Zip Fizz and a couple of shots of whiskey. Don't tell the FAA or whatever regulating agency exists down here. AASA, Australian Aviation Safety thing. Is that what it is? Because I want to say it was more like EASA, which is the European one, but y'all are Australian. Matt versus NPC, that's my dating life. I told the chick I'd gone on a couple of dates with, I was, no, this is, no, you're stupid. Oh, I basically said it like that. Don't associate myself with stupid people. Oh, what kind of whiskey? I've got a Forester sampler pack that I'm finishing up, and I've got some Woodford Reserve double barrel. And all 4 of those bottles are at the very, very bottom. I've had them for years. I'm just not a big drinker, but it is my birthday, and I'm 35, so good for me. Down under Boomerang and Aircraft Service. DUBAAS. Dumbass is what the aviation industry here's called. CASA. What's the C stand for? Civil? Civil aviation? Run by kangaroos. You said CASA, I thought you were answering a whiskey question. Also, what are you doing coming all the way out here to ride up a river? This would be like the equivalent of me going to Oklahoma to fly. Civil. Okay, cool. Oh, also, speaking of flying, Sun and Fun is in 3 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm debating Civil Aviation Safety Authority. Oh, wow. Boy, they really jam authority down y'all's throat pretty early there, don't they? We have the Federal Aviation Administration, because they want it to seem like they're not in charge of you. But really they are. But down there, they just say authority right out the back, don't they? Here you go, welcome to existing, you have no rights. Welcome to Australia. Like the equivalent of me going to California to go fly. I mean, California's complete other side of the country. Isn't Australia just about the same size as US-ish? I think we're pretty close to the same size. Which I know the Americans, we get this shit a lot. But there's the joke of us whenever we're talking to British people about driving places, because they don't like driving more than like 20 minutes to get somewhere, and even then 20 minutes is like a life-ending commute for them. Meanwhile, I live 49 miles away from downtown Atlanta, and I usually work on the other side of Atlanta. So I think my daily commute's like, at least on this TV show we're working at the stages of the studio, it's 60 miles one way, hour and a half with traffic. And the British people, they just like can't comprehend living that far away from something. They're like, oh man, it's such a far trip, and it's literally like a 35-minute drive, and it's just unrealistic for them to even fathom driving more than like 3 minutes to go somewhere. And then a lot of them will fly in, which I guess this happens in Australia too. But UK people, or even just Europeans in general, who don't understand scale of country, they'll fly into like New York City because it's the cheapest flight. And they'll be like, okay, well from here we're going to go to we're going to drive to the Grand Canyon tonight. And it's like, if you're driving the speed limit, that's like a 38-hour drive or something like that. Something ridiculous. And they just don't understand how big stuff is. And it's like for you, I think you've mentioned before, where you live at least an hour out of town, or at least an hour out of big city. Yeah, the water here is really weird because it knows where the creek's at, but it looks like its elevation data's very off. If you drive further than 20 minutes in England, you fall into the channel. Yeah, just about. Okay, let's head up here to the falls. If we see more cracks and crevices on the way up, we'll go. Also, it's very weird looking terrain, just like looking at the satellite view of the map there. The way it... I mean, it's Australia, so I just kind of always assume it's dry, but it just looks like cracked and dried out. Like the geography of the rivers and the runoffs and everything is completely different than what we get up here. I think a big thing for you guys driving across the country is that the center of the country is very undeveloped. Like y'all are East Coast, West Coast, and a lot of nothing in between. So like there's no main highway or thoroughfare or something like that where people can just hop in it and go. I think that's the big thing for you. Meanwhile, in the U.S., we have a extensive interstate highway system that moves through wherever. I can get, let's just assume that I had endless fuel. The interstate that's near my house, I can hop onto that, and without ever getting off of the highway system, which for all intents and purposes is 70 miles an hour everywhere you go, except unless you get into like a city or whatever. So 70 miles an hour, 110 kilometers an hour, I think, ish. 110, 120, somewhere in there. I can basically 3 miles from the house and drive 70 miles an hour to any major city in the country and never have to get off the interstate system. Which is the big selling point, I guess. Really, anywhere in the country is accessible in 2 days if you're doing non-stop driving. But like if I were to go to the opposite corner, if I were to start in Miami and go all the way up to the deep northwest, like Seattle or Portland or something, it'd probably be more than 48 hours of normal driving because you're doing a lot of dog legs to get up in that direction. But it's not bad because you're still in the interstate system and it's more or less a straight line. You can more or less straight line between any two major cities in the 50 states, which is wild when you look at a lot of other places. But you can imagine if you were to evenly distribute 50 cities across the country of Australia and then connect interstate supporting infrastructure and stuff through all that, it would probably be a much shorter than a 2-week drive. I think the whole 2-week thing for you, I've watched like what do y'all call that flood country in the middle that we flew over? Because I know one airport that we flew into when we were doing the Around the World series down here, it was a airport that I saw them use on that 4-wheel drive YouTube channel. And they got through like right as the floods were coming in, and their trucks were stranded in this town for like 3 months while it was flooding. And it's like, cool, there's no other way to get to that town except for that road, and that's like the main town out in that area. Which, it's not like that in America. Or Australia. But it's not like that in America because we have towns and interstates and everything everywhere. Yeah, Sean, that's obviously a day trip. Do the tourist thing. Land in New York, book your hotel that night in San Francisco. Everyone does it. Can't be wrong, right? Checking idioms. Oh, dang, that's a really cool place. Which, if anybody's interested, once we get up here, I'll tell you the name of where we're going. Columbus, Georgia to Washington, D.C., 20 minutes. We have another little gorge type thing to follow here. A wet streak in the desert. More of a runoff, if we're being generous. But yeah, so I think you've comparison-wise, I think if we were to drop the U.S. interstate system with like supporting infrastructure across Australia, similar drive times, you'd be able to get to the other coast in 2 to 3 days of normal driving. You can bike from Atlanta to Knoxville. Guys, he's going to show up here and he's going to be fucked. Because he's enjoying how drivable and easy the country is to navigate, obviously. So it looks like we'll have more opportunities for places to check out once we get further up the lineup here. Tom's over here casually dropping that 6-minute bike ride. Yeah, she's quick on a bike. She's faster than normal. So to be fair, Belen, you going from Knoxville to Atlanta is maybe like a 6-minute thing. If I was biking, I'm really out of shape, I'm out of practice, I'm going to say like 15 minutes. Max. 15 minutes max. Tom hops in here like, hey, I've got a super fun flight for you. Super beautiful. You'll get to do all this cool flying, and this is what we got. But to be fair, popping my neck a little bit, helicopter's the way to do this. Because you can land wherever you want to given the area. Yeah, I'm excited for at least next week to start doing some more streams, get the round the world thing. I'm going to move up a little bit. I enjoy the lower flying, but the decision height alarm is really annoying. Like, look, I know I'm below 200 feet. No, that's Stone Mountain that you can see. I can see Mount Rushmore. I live closer. We'll swing left here and we'll kind of follow one of these little ravines into that a little bit and grab another river. Everybody here in the U.S. just like lives close to each other. Like, we don't really need cell phones when we're talking. All my friends, we just went to the store and we got those little walkie-talkie things with like the few mile range, and we can just, you know, talk to each other really easily. Just over the air, no cell signal or anything. Yeah, that short of a flight would kind of be stupid to take, going all the way up to LaGuardia. I mean, honestly, at that point, just like get an Uber. Okay, it looks like we'll have another river to hop in. Also, it looks like we're losing some elevation up here, which means we might have some more eccentric flying opportunities. Oh, so if Kid Rock's your next door neighbor, you were probably able to see the Apaches that were out there. Here we go, coming off this plateau a little bit here. Oh, you saw the Apaches? You could almost probably get the tail number with your zoom lens from where you live, right? Also, if anybody who we don't know comes into this chat, they're all just going to think we're retarded. We might be. Oh yeah, you probably had to deal with a lot of the, I don't want to say offshoots from that. Oh, Blowheat, you're basically a regular now, okay? So you don't get to come in here and throw those accusations around. But we are insane. Also, appreciate the happy birthday, Chirac. Also, I saw your message in Discord. I just haven't had a chance to actually look at it yet. I didn't check Discord all day. You missed the first part of the stream where we went and invaded Paris. It's ours now. There's no more cheese and no more baguettes. But if you want a woman with armpit hair, I left them there. So feel free to go. They're ours now. They've been conquered. Now we're exploring a bit of Australia for the regular Tom. We bombed Ratatouille's. Sean, did you turn up the violence in her or something after she got caught by the sniper during the proposal? Getting her trained up so she's not going to get got again? There has to be a prediction market somewhere for the Artemis launch, right? Somebody's betting on it. I wonder if Robinhood has that available for me. I haven't downloaded any of the other prediction market apps just because I don't want to. I don't want to have it that easily available for me, but Robinhood does have a few prediction assets that you can throw around on. She's just tapping into it now. Greenbelt, hell yeah. Is weather rough down there? What is it, tomorrow? No, day after tomorrow. The 2nd, right? Okay, wait a second. My ADH, there is a reflection that looks like your tower. Oh, the TV reflection, here? Is that what you're talking about? Freaking gaff tape is rough when you start getting to the end of a roll. Better? Sunshine? Oh, appreciate it, Blowheed. Much appreciated. I don't know if I'd call it great content. Hoping it'll just be consistent now that the TV show I'm working on is over. That'd be a good change of pace for what it's been the last few months. Yeah, I wouldn't ride in that rocket. I'm already seeing them priming something going wrong with it. You like to watch the pedal movements? Yeah, that tape's for Tom. He's back there on the back left. Hey, Tom. Still sitting there looking out the window. I see you. Oh, no, don't worry about giving. It's appreciated, but never necessary. It's funny, I was doing some definitely more extreme flying earlier, but I wasn't even streaming. For my birthday, Valeska, she's in here. Hey, Valeska. She gave me this chair. So I got it set up. It didn't fit, so I had to put my old chair base on it. And kind of get things adjusted to make it work right. So I was doing a test flight earlier with the 500C, and I was whipping it. But I enjoy the 500. It's just such a good, smooth flying thing. Let's see. We're going to skip the river a little bit, because Tom's idea of a short drive is 50 minutes worth of flying. But no big deal. We love Tom. She's a mod in spirit. I've already got 37 mods, Valeska. She's not a mod, she's a channel sponsor. Your presence is enough. I'll like and subscribe. Hey, Shugs. Oh no, Berlin. Oh, okay. I thought it was Valeska. I'm reading my phone, which you can see it over here. I'm reading it under the edge, like around my nose. She just wants to be a Twitch streamer. What's her talent? What's your streaming going to be, Berlin? Are we cooking? Are we crafting? Are we gaming? Are we just IRL cat streaming? Look, I would let you guys piggyback off of me whenever y'all go to jiu-jitsu and you leave the cats to watch me. You just turn the camera towards the TV watching me stream. People get that in them. And then also the cats are there as well. Which this here is for Southeast Aviation. If his cat will look at the screen now, he can see the mouse. Meow meow. Okay, enough of that. Get that off screen for you guys. Animal Crossing, Hello Kitty, and Shenanigans. Well, Shenanigans leaves the door open for a whole bunch. That's like the worst thing in the film industry. They'll send a script out to us and we start reading it over, trying to figure out like what guns people need. And then it'll be like, the bad guys walk into the room where the good guys are and all hell breaks loose. And you're like, cool, could I get more info than that? So I know how to plan for this appropriately. But no. Oh, okay, they're not there. Well, I thought of them and moved the mouse around the screen, so that should count for something, right? Okay, Tom, how close are we getting to your little waterfall up here? Goodness. Let's just go click, click, Click. Holy crap. This is such a fast A star. There's no rivers out here. Three, two, one. Back to normal speed, I think. Are we in normal speed? What's wrong with you? I'm gonna stabilize. Yep, so there's no way for me to tell how fast I'm going as far as time scale. So I've got it set on my trim hat here where I can click it forward, click it back to go faster or slower. But I don't know how many fasters or slowers I've clicked it. So the only way to tell is at the very bottom of this main screen here, you'll see there's a clock with a second counter there. So I've got to get low enough where I can see that and say, okay, cool. 15, 16, 17, 18. But if I were to be one slower, which is this, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. So it's one click slow there. That's kind of annoying. Holy crap, there's a lot of messages to catch up on. Animal Crossing, cooking while making crafts, food, macaroni, paintings, my cat's not with it. I'm going to scream at NPCs. Yes, me too. She likes queso, probably barfing, so you really don't like. Better not be. My dog's incredible. I open the fridge, she appears and not only won't swing, but tries to jump in the fridge. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I don't have a membership system set up. Belin's just practicing. Yeah, but I want to figure out something worth it for Gifted. Because, like, over the past 5 months, I would have felt really bad about it because I only showed up, like, once a month. And that's not fair for anybody. And I don't want to be like that. I want to make sure I'm at a point where I can consistently be posting and then make it where whoever is wanting to do something like a membership, Patreon, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Southeast Aviation, that's formerly Georgia Spotting, or GA for General Aviation Spotting. He changed his name as to make his profile more appealing to a more general audience, so it's just not Georgia. But yeah, I'll get it set up eventually, and like it's, I could see if I had, let's just say, a bigger number, 100,000 subscribers. Like, cool, then I could have a membership thing set up to where it's $3 a month, $4 a month, something like that. Of course, YouTube takes their cut, whatever I get out of that. If we assume that there's 0.25% of people who are subscribed, that'll do it. I'm like, okay, cool, maybe that's $600-700 a month. Okay, money. It's nothing to be like, oh no, I'm going to ignore that. Like, it's money and it's there, and it's something where like, cool, it not only gives me something to make and be encouraged to make something for that, but it's also something where it's worth trying to sell at that point. But I do think, like, maybe if I'm at the 10 to 20,000 sub mark, and if there's a consistent or maybe if I had like a consistent 50 to 100 viewers in the stream, because like consistent viewers for lives and subscribers themselves are like, there's not a really good correlation to see that, because if you built a channel completely on streaming, then obviously you're going to have more. But if you build a channel on videos and then you just live stream every once in a while, people really aren't going to want to tune into that, more or less, probably, depending on how you build your audience and how you interact with them. So there's different considerations, and like I said, I just don't want to put out a product that somebody would be in turn paying for consistently and on a renewing membership basis that I wouldn't be happy with if I was paying for it. Yeah, I do want to do more videos to hype. Like I said, I've got like 10 scripts in the pipeline of things to start editing, and once I'm out of work things to do after Thursday, I'll have a lot of free time, and my free time will be here at the computer, streaming at night or in the mornings, and when I'm not doing that, I'll be working on production of these videos, because I want to be busy. I want to have something to do. And then also I'm going to do some shorts and stuff as well. I'm not a big shorts person. I'm a big fan of long form media. But I kind of have like some rules for myself if I post a short. Like, it has to either take your mind away from the algorithm to where it'll be the last short you watch because you're just like, oh damn, I was locked in scrolling for a long time. Or it needs to be something that you're like learning or getting something from. Michael Jackson fan. Hee hee. What are your pronouns? Hee hee. I'd get more subs if I did more loops. Most pilots don't know the difference between aileron rolls and barrel rolls. And cinnamon rolls. Well, I can do a cinnamon roll right here. You personally stream consistently, like if you could pick a day or a night of the week where you stream routine based. Yeah, and like there's people that I've watched that were consistent, at least on like Fridays and Saturdays, because it was a smaller channel and he had a day job. I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed watching his streams like weekend nights, but he just got busy doing other stuff, and it kind of got to him as well, which I was feeling that after doing a bit of the because we did a full summer of like 50 episodes straight, basically, of night to night to night to night, doing the Round the World series. And it was starting to get to me, because that was like anywhere from like 3 to 5 hours a night of just flying. And it got mentally rough. For me, at least, because I'm sitting here, I'm putting on this blue light generator on my face at nighttime, so it's ruining the sleep schedule. And it just wasn't mentally the best for me. Look, a cinnamon roll. Wasn't the best one. I was trying to do flattening out the collective as you're inverted, because then technically if there was any downforce it would be whatever, but it would be the equivalent, like the highest pitch blades to keep you in the slowest descent possible. when you're flat collective upside down. So we could do it like the Red Bull guy, where he does it like this and pulls back in collective. Gold's up on a friend's channel, but he is the worst posting upcoming streams. Canceling and changing, yeah. Yeah, negative collective, not really a thing, sadly. I think like a few Navy-based helicopters will have a slight bit of negative collective to put you on the ship. Like if you're landing in rough seas, you can kind of push yourself down to the deck. Okay, everybody, I would like to officially be the person to welcome you to Jim Jim Falls. Jim Jim Falls is a waterfall here in Australia. It is at least 12 meters tall. Could be even more. We don't quite know what a meter is here. If it was in feet, I'd be able to tell you. Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Tom did send me a video, but if you do look up Jim Jim Falls, it does look like a super nice place. So it sucks that it's not thoroughly modeled. You know what? You know what? Let's plant it right here. A little bit of a uneven ground landing. Go roll that down. Look, you asked to come out here. You're not even getting out of the helicopter. Show the video on stream for comparison? Yep, give me a second. So, in the video, I'm going to be holding up to our little camera in the corner, because I don't want to have to log on to a website and do all this. It'll be a video of the helicopter flying like over here and kind of doing a pass here right over the falls. So if you want to look up in this corner of your screen, I'll be pulling up that video now. So, as you can see, it's a waterfall. Oh, cool, I get to watch it. Very neat. Yeah, I do think the sim is better, Tom. It's sad that real places exist that are so boring, but then like these simulators can just come in here and be that much better, just off the rip with zero effort. But do your helicopter tour guides ever do this? Or is that frowned upon? Okay, anyways, let's go to somewhere else. Let's slow down the rotor speed there. You're good, dude. This thing acts like I'm shoving way too much air through the rotor system as I'm slowing down from 140 miles an hour to nothing in the span of a parking lot. Cool. Yeah, Africa's pretty close. We can just, like you said, walk through there on the weekends. We did not bless the rains because we were in Australia, sadly. Absolutely. King Sierra was in the Congo in walking distance. Also, we can snap this dude back, usually. Guess not. Oh well. Off. Escape. In flight. Let's see. Where have I not flown? Moscow. What would be a Moscow helicopter? We have an MI. I think there is an MI helicopter. I just don't want to. I don't know how good it is. Marketplace. Australia looks thirsty. What? Well, first, like, I've heard MS Scenery is like super mid. Sorry if any of them ever watch this. Let's see. Yeah, so that's one that we would be after there in MI. The 117, I'd like to have that. I think that'd be cool. 500C. Is that a BL105? There is another company that's making a BL105 right now, and I want to wait for theirs. I know it'll be way better. But yeah, I've just heard off things about MS Scenery. Not that they're shit. It's just, if you want to have a good experience flying stuff, it would be another brand. That thing's just weird looking. So yeah, they've got a 105. Let's see, it's a 3.4. And like all the Cowan ones are like 4.3, The 530F, there's a 4.5. I've heard that one's decent. 3.2 MS scenery. 3.2, 2.7 rating out of 5. Okay, well, what's your... Let's go back to the 105, because I'm more interested in the 105. Well, does it have, like, words on the reviews? Yeah, there's a lot of 1 stars there, and that throws me off. Yeah, I'm not going to get any of theirs. And I think it's an MI-17. That's in the owned. I think all these ones on the bottom are things that I've already got. Oh. That'd be a cool one, but BK 1.7 stars. See? Okay, so they have one. MI8 at 2.1 stars. And that doesn't make me have faith that'll be worth $25 to get. MI24, $10 cheap, but I don't want to get something that I'm not going to like. Oh well. $40 drinks. Anyways, next birthday flight. Actually, we were talking about 22s earlier, so we're going to do a 22 thing real quick. I don't even think that shows. Yeah, we'll just take off normal spot here in Hampton. Tom will love this. Tom loves the 22. Oh my god. No, don't really like appeal to me for funsies. Don't worry about it. That was Tuvaleska. Okay, cool. We are going to play a game called Max Gross Weight in an R22. For those of you unaware, most people think that any helicopter, no matter how much you have in it weight-wise, you can just go blip and go straight up. Not the case. Let's see. It's much more apparent in the 22, so that's why we're here doing it in that. But also I could load up the 145 or something like that as well, and it would just do the same thing. It'd be extremely hard to fly. Battery switch on, fuel down, that's there. Strobe light on. Engines on. Alternator. Clutch. Don't you dare bog my engine down. Well, let's see, I don't know how well it's saved. Yep, look at this, this is crap. What's the point of loading this in the aircraft if it doesn't save? Load an aircraft, fuel. Okay, now we're officially over max gross weight. Clutch is off, we can throttle up, and we'll do like an official startup procedure for anybody curious. So anyways, once you have temperature and everything, you can bring it up to 70-75% in your RPM range here. Don't let it go over 80, that's where the governor is. Now we're going to watch those needles, and we're going to flick our key back one. See the needles drop, that means that magneto... Oh, sorry. Needles drop, that means we lost a magneto as I turned it off. Turn the RPM back up to there. Take it down to the right one. Needles drop just a wee bit. That's what we want to see. Next we're going to bring up the RPM, and then I'm going to go snap and close the throttle. And we should see the needles split. Nope. Go off, Governor. Listen to me. There we go. The needles, they don't like to split much in the game, but they do. Compared to normal. And then also there's the low rotor RPM horn. So I'll turn the throttle down. There we go. Low rotor RPM whenever your collective is up. It rode off a Mega Cat. Jeez. Okay, cool. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that we are heavy. As you can tell, she's been eating. So, what we need to do is get comfortable in the new seat. And take off. Left pedal heavy. Also, what's the weather here right now? I want it hot. 90 degrees outside now. So 33.2 Celsius, we'll say that's like 30 degrees on the temperature thing. Which means what we are limited to when we're taking off, we're looking at our manifold pressure gauge here. With our manifold pressure gauge, we will be limited to pulling what the equivalent would be to like 22.5, I believe, inches of manifold pressure. And we'll be limited to that much power usage. So, add some collective. Hopefully we burned off that 2 pounds. You see, we're barely hovering there, and we're at like 23. And this would also be the same, which we did it going up to elevation before, where I kind of had to start while skidding because I couldn't hover. Okay, so this will be, imagine us getting over an obstacle or something like that. We're not going to be able to just go straight up because we're going to pull way too much power. So you'll see right now, to stay this high above the ground, not moving, I'll stop moving. We're using about 23 to 24 inches of manifold. As I start moving forward, I'm going to try to keep this altitude. You can see even here we're 2 inches lower on manifold pressure just because the rotor system becomes more efficient as we have forward movement. And then I can kind of add more collective, which means more pitch in the rotor system, and that's how we can get up over trees and stuff like that. Yeah, flying heavy's fun. It sucks because you can't get out of small areas, but it's fun because it gives you a challenge, in my opinion. I love that y'all are having conversation in there and I don't have to read everything. You run out of power when the RPM drops? True. If you're doing things by the book, we also can add more power by the book if the carburetor heat is up. You can add 0.5 more inches of manifold pressure. We're going to do an approach into our little confined area place here. And by the book, we might not be able to get out of here. But we should be able to pull more. I've seen a lot of those L1011 500s flying today. I guess that's the new one that came out. Okay, so a by the book departure out of here. I don't know how possible it would be. I mean, I think the trees are short enough in the game to where it will be possible. Yeah, I think it'll be possible. Because the trees here are much shorter than in real life here in Georgia. Bashing the ground because I'm heavy. Okay, let's try by the book. 23 inches. And sometimes if you have wind in your favor, when you get above the trees, just enough, you'll catch a little bit more of a headwind. But right there, that was pulling as much as the helicopter by the book would allow. Now, what Tom pointed out is the engines and a lot of things are limited by computers and other things like that. In the Robinson gasoline engine, especially like the carbureted 22 and stuff like this, we are limited by me. So you can imagine doing a dyno pull in something that's like a car or something like that. If you floor it, it could give you 200 horsepower. If you give like 90% throttle, it may give you 180 horsepower or something. There will just even percentages there. Robinson basically does that with the 22 and their gasoline platforms. Bye. Who's leaving? Oh, shit, I see you there. Adios, dude. Thank you always for being in here. Appreciate the donation. And we'll see you on the next one, dude. See ya! But yeah, so the way Robinson will manage your power usage is basically when they tell you that 22.5 inches of manifold pressure, this engine here produces 165 horsepower, but they limit you to 124 horsepower. And they limit you by saying, cool, when it's 90 degrees outside and you're pulling 22.5 inches of manifold pressure, that's 124 horsepower. So you're limited by what your hand does. basically. You can go up 0.5 of an inch higher if your carburetor heats on, by their rules. And what Tom is saying is what a lot of people do in the mustering and more advanced flying. And not advanced as it's harder to do, but it's just like, cool, that capability's there. It's like, cool, I bought a car that has 160 mile an hour speedometer. I'm going to use all 160 miles of it. Miles per hour of it. Instead of just, accepting the fact that the speed limit's 70. And he's just saying, like, cool, you can pull past the 22.5. You'll have the more power there. The engine has enough power to give you more. But that's not what they rate a lot of parts for, so it could technically create premature wear on different parts because of probably being overweight or asking too much torque through the system or whatever. But anyways, by the book, we're limited that way. That being said, if I was stuck somewhere and I didn't have a DPE or somebody breathing on my neck, yeah, I'd pull an extra half inch of power, an extra 1 inch of power. And what he also said was when you hear rotor droop, which is, let's say we're doing a max performance straight up, that rotor droop, that's cool, I ran out of power there. And it's like these things have a lot more to give than what they lead up to. They try to keep it safe and try to keep you from doing too much hot dog shit for liabilities and testing, whatever regulations that they're trying to conform to. But also, as you can see, the needle there did not go higher than 2.9 or 29 inches. That's because if you look right here, our pressure outside is 29.9. So we cannot physically pull any more inches of manifold pressure than that because that's what the pressure is outside where we are. Oh yeah, you can pull as much manifold pressure technically, or physically, you can pull as much as whatever is available. And like I said, if I was in a place flying alone, whatever, then you fudge that regulation a little bit. When you're testing stuff, though, you want to make sure that you're within the right practice. And also, it's a good thing to do. A lot of people will teach you what they call like the painfully slow takeoff. And that's because even though in the gas engine like this, we can over-torque and it's not that big of a deal. If you over-torque something like a turbine engine, even the cheapest turbine, little Bell 206 Jet Ranger, $350,000 used, you damage the engine there and you just spent how much that engine costs to have that thing inspected and overhauled in the transmission and everything. He rode the horn all the way up. But yeah, if you over torque a turbine engine, you're in trouble. That's big costly repairs. A lot of the newer stuff logs over torques, so there's not even hiding it from an employer if you're worried about that. Also could lead to big catastrophic issues. Not really a catastrophic issue unless you floor your car too hard. Cool, it just doesn't give you the power. It's physically limited to how much power it can output just from tuning. It'll only ever give 160 horsepower. You can't get more out of it. That's it. But a lot of people will teach the painfully slow takeoff, so doing your takeoff with the 23 inches of manifold limitation or whatever, a lot of things that you do when you're flying commercially, you may say like, oh man, I'm in a new super sick Airbus H-145 helicopter with 2 engines and 1,200 horsepower and some... Well, guess what? You have a second crew member, you have 2 flight paramedics and nurses in the back, and you have a patient, and you have all the equipment, and guess what? You're still at max gross weight. The amount of power doesn't matter. You know, if you're flying production or something like that, they're going to put as much weight in your helicopter as possible. So even though you may have more power, you're still going to be up in the 90% threshold of what your max gross weight is much of the time. Putting as much fuel as you can in there. There's people who fly medical where it's like, cool, we have a average sized white male or whatever, they get there, and they have a lot of fuel because they were expecting an average sized white male, whatever, and they get there and it's some dude who weighs fucking 400 pounds. And they'll have to sit on the ground and burn fuel until they are at a weight where they can get off the ground. Because you don't over-torque the turbines. Oh, Sean, good night, dude. Appreciate it. You and Belinda both. Didn't see it until now. But I'm sure you know. I always say thank you. Yeah, good night, Sean. And Belinda, I guess. If he's going to bed, she's going to bed. It's like, yeah, there I'm pulling 27 inches. And it's not even coming out of the governor. 28 inches. I can see the needle starting to move just a little bit. There we go. Lower the collective, flatten the pitch. Yeah, so, like, yeah, I could get out of the house. By the book? No. By the book, I could not get out of the house. In the sim, I was literally turning to head that way now. Let's see, what direction am I heading? 150? Yeah, that should take me in the general direction. Which, you know where I live. Whatever. I don't hide my name. I'm easily doxxed. Already looked at it on the map when we were scouting the area. But also, my house in the sim has many, many more trees, which the height in those trees look more like what it actually is around here, these tall pines. We built the garage and stuff here at the house since they did the photogrammetry and everything for the game. So we don't have as much area to get in and out. And I don't feel as bad for pulling more than what's prescribed. What I don't really want to do, though, is overweight it, because that puts you out of center of gravity, which, even though you may be able to move and maneuver fine when you're doing some things, if there was an emergency failure, it may put it way out of weight balance to where it's like, oh, cool, I can't really perform an auto rotation the right way. Or the hover auto's really, really crazy. Or if you have just enough of a wind that's at the edge of a limitation that you can't, like, put enough cyclic in to keep yourself to hover straight. Just like one day I came into land and I was at just enough of a weird weight forward with me and the instructor. Was the instructor? No, it was with my dad, I think. And because we went down to go eat, then we did like an hour and a half flight going back. It was like a 10-minute trip down to the restaurant, like an hour and a half tour coming back. But I forgot to push down the trim. And when we came into land, I was like, oh man, I'm having to pull a lot of aft into it. It just felt weird. And I was like, oh shit, it's the cyclic trim resistance, whatever you want to call it. Anyways. don't go much over the red line. Which is like, if you're going to break the rule, then yeah, then that's probably a good one to kind of put yourself on. Don't go too much over the red line. Like I said, I don't want to fuck with weight and balance rules. I'll keep myself under the 1370. But if I'm trying to get out of somewhere and it needs another inch of manifold pressure, then it's not the end of the world. Until it is. Just snap the main shaft and done. Oh, also we had a tail rotor gearbox go out on 34 Lima. And they were coming from Griffin, which this is the main stretch going north-south in Griffin. They were heading north. And tail rotor light came on, which is usually land as soon as practical. Or like don't, which is basically means like don't pass the next gas station. But it was like the third time it's come on, because when it happens, you flush it and you fill it and see if it comes on. Anyways, it came on for like the fourth time. And they landed in that field there. There's an IHOP and that would be right there, and they landed in the little field there. Then we picked it up, took it off and landed on a trailer, then drove it back up to the airport. But yeah, every machine's different. Every machine's got different feel, different little, just like turbine engines for helicopters. It's like, cool, you can get two C-20Bs or whatever. One may make an extra 20 or 30 horsepower more than a standard one. Some feel much stronger. Maybe the blades are that much cleaner, where they're producing that much more lift efficiently. There's a lot of factors with it. Keep her under the red, or if you feel that your adding of collectives not changing how much you're getting out of it, stop there. I've noticed that anyways, when you're getting up towards whatever your by the book limit is. I've noticed that when you start getting there, it's like, cool, like I add more collective, it just doesn't feel like it's doing anything else. Max takeoff weight, and you only pulled 22. Oh, wow. What was the temperature outside? You had good air and a little headwind when you were taking off, and that helps a lot too. I know, like the first time that I flew in the cold, I was like, holy shit, I'm flying a rocket ship around. Just because it felt that much better having good air to bite into. Also a lot of birthday messages on Instagram, so I'm just going through, checking, make sure there's nothing crazy. $25C? Okay, so warm but not terrible. What's that, like 78, 80 degrees, somewhere in there? Probably more on the 80 side. Oh. Yeah, because you live in hell down there. Also, I like just like generally knowing the area and where things are, and just being able to like purely VFR navigate without needing to like look at a book like, okay, gotta head at a 180 heading for this far and this long. Like, no, I know where I'm at. I can almost assume the direction I'm on right now. Like a little less than a 120 will take me right over the house. Also, thanks to Fat Ass over here, we're brand. Why aren't you? You're not even. You got A20s right there, lady. Put them on. The doors are off. I know it's not quiet in here. There was one day when I was a kid, we were driving. There's a road that goes through this field long ways, like down that way, and he was doing a paramotor trike, and he was taking off in the field here. That was cool to see. I don't want to say that was like a formative thing as a child, but it was definitely something that I remember. I got off course there because I was talking. Y'all freaking distracting me. I think winds are calm. Will. I get any ground speeds from here. Get ground speed on that one, that's not bad. It's just not super clear. Yeah, V&E speeds don't matter, they're made up. They're made up by Big Airplane to teach you to get fixed wing also. Here. Just not much above the red line, right? Take this bitch out. Also, I've never gone faster than 80 in a 22. So, in the game, the feeling of speed isn't there. So it just doesn't register with me. But in real life, it's like, cool, I just like cruising at like 80. I'm enjoying it. I'm in the 22. I'm not trying to go somewhere super far, super fast. I'm just fucking cruising. Tailwind here, so land going the other direction, which is suboptimal. And really, landing direction doesn't matter because of how I would have to get in with our current setup. I don't know what it looks like here in the game. But I've always kind of had the thought process where I was going to land anywhere there's a dude who built a house up here on top of this hill, I would just have permission to land in his place. The rotor speed wouldn't hit up that high. The inertia in this game is really weird. Yeah, because now we have a garage here. And all this area here is kind of cleared out. So the approach path that I would take getting in would be this way. But in the game, I kind of have to come a bit more over the back. But this would be my approach, and then I would continue kind of out the window that way. But here I have to turn. Looks nothing like the house. By the book, let's get out of here. Come on, Toots. Also, I'm doing right pedal on purpose because it's taking power away from me having to add power pedal in. So I'm giving my engine just a few extra horsepower. And now we can like kind of lean into the wind a little bit. See if there's a yard that looks a similar size to what it would be now. Let's see. Oh no, I've lost engine. There we go. Which is annoying too, because I have to like fight the engine to separate from the rotor. So here we're flying. Throttle off. Oh no, it didn't do it that. Like when I'm flying, it's like I have to like fight the engine to turn the engine off. And that was a super slow auto too. I was doing like 40 and I was like 150 feet above the ground. Suboptimal conditions, we would have collapsed gear most likely. Oh yeah, I'm looking for a house. Okay, so yeah, here, let's do like another simulated auto thing. So usually if I just, in real life, you don't have to turn your governor off, you just roll the throttle down. But here the governor still wants to be in effect. Take the governor off. So now I have the governor off and the throttle's down. I have to bump. And so you didn't overspeed that much. You're stupid. Oh, and that's another thing. If I don't put the throttle to 100% throttle, so right now the throttle is 100% as far as as it goes on the stop, or on the stop. If I roll the throttle down just a wee bit, watch my RPM. I start getting ridiculous amounts of overspeed. So I had to put like a dead zone in the throttle to where it would be like, oh, okay, cool. Anything that's like 95% throttle or more is 100% throttle. So kind of annoying. Also, the rotor system here carries a ridiculous amount of inertia for no reason. As in, usually we do our autos at like 700 feet above the ground. And we'll do it in the field and aim for what would be an auto behind that house in between the trees over there. So we'll set up for an auto that should allegedly take us to that point. and I'm suspecting that it will carry me to the far tree line. Because basically your auto rotation's a steep approach. The way it does its path down. So I was trying to auto to that place. I'd probably do it about here. And see back there, like why do I have 6 million RPM? So we're going to go around and do this again. Because it should not be that many RPM. We'll even be more careful as far as our entering. 75 knots, entering and auto-rotating at 65 knots. Allegedly. I love this 22 model. They do really, really good with everything. Handling, responsiveness feels all basically there. But the inertia in the rotor system is wildly off. Okay, same thing. So we'll set up for like a steep approach going to that house at 75 knots. Leveling off. Throttle down. See, I'm having to add a lot of up collective to keep myself from overspeeding. And like I should have been down way over there, but I'm having to add a lot more collective there. Rough landing, but like that's like what you have to do, and it's super annoying. Yeah, I'm keeping the collective in check. And actually, I'm going to restart and put us back at the airport. Just that way I have everything on there. But yeah, collective down, I check it up, and I'm set glide to 65 knots, which is the speed that you want. And oh, even now where we're doing it now, we'll be at max gross weight. So even better. But yeah, it's just this something I noticed once I started doing autos in real life. It was just this thing here. It's super, super high inertia system. And like super susceptible to just like picking up RPM and keeping it. I'm not worried about doing mag checks, because mags don't exist in the fake world. So we're going to go and throttle all the way up. Not worried about the engine being warm. Not worried about none of that. Okay, cool. Also, let's set our altimeter here. Oh, it's standard day, so yeah, I don't need to worry about the altimeter. I control everything. Red line. Which way is our wind showing us? A little bit from behind us. More or less dead. 270, I think. Yeah. Cool. So we'll do an auto at 700. So 850 foot field, we'll go up to 1,500, 1,600 feet. And by the book in the 22 is 75 knots entered, 65 knots glide. start flaring once you hit 40 feet above the ground. And when you flare, mind you, you don't really touch the collective. You just add a little bit of flare, little bit of flare, little bit of flare. And that is enough to where the rotor's slowing itself down because it's not getting powered. But also, you're adding a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more angle to put that much more air through the system. So anyways, we'll go ahead and start turning for our base. So yeah, this will be as by the book, and watch how far I glide. And it'll also be doing like such a slow flare to keep it from overspeeding, just because if you do a standard flare, it'll just vroom, throw it through the roof. And like we're at 1,000 feet above the ground now. More than enough. Speedway traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, final for runway 24, power off, auto rotation. Speedway. Okay, cool. So we're maintaining 75 knots, which you can see there on the, not the top right, but the one just to the left of that. I'm coming in a little bit this way because we have a little bit of wind coming from the right, but mostly a headwind, which is good. We want a headwind. We're going to set up for more of a steep approach sort of angle, which will be kind of a putting my landing spot here-ish sort of thing. So I'm aiming for the 1,000-foot markers or the refrigerators that are there on the runway. A little bit slow there. We'll pick it back up. So there's that. 3, 2, 1, throttle down, governor. And I checked up so the collective's not on the ground. Already high rotor RPM, so I'm pushing forward. Small check up. Small check up. Small, bigger check up. I'm still pushing forward to get to the 65 knots. There we go. That's there. The rotor RPM's climbing. Everything looks good. Start baby flare. I'm having to check the collective to keep it from overspeeding. And look, I almost made it halfway down the runway. And that was doing the most by the book auto rotation that you could almost ask for. I could have pushed further forward and got 65. A little bit nicer because I was kind of riding around 68 to 69 knots airspeed. But tell me that wasn't a by the book auto. Which I'll even try getting more 65 then. But I mean, it's just, the system carries a lot of inertia and it spins up super easily. And keep in mind, we're at max gross weight. We are at MTOW. We don't get heavier than this right now. I think we actually spawned in 3 pounds overweight, so like with fuel burn, like we were at 1370. So yeah, there's better auto-rotating helicopters here at the sim. This is the one that's like the main one that you train on though. R66 actually auto's really good. It's very well balanced, I think, as far as Robinson is in the sim. I haven't done the 206 Jet Ranger in a while. We may hop into that after we do another one of these. Looks like Tom disappeared. Hi, Tom. He's probably going to go steal a 22 and do an auto just to see. Yeah, for anybody re-watching this later, what we're doing is turning the engine off, basically. I can even go through and turn the key off and do the full thing. But when that happens, the rotor free spins, just like a bicycle will. Whenever you're riding downhill and you stop pedaling, And when you're collective, my left hand here is all the way down. The blades are about as flat as they get, and the wind moving upward through them as you fall is actually enough to keep it spinning. So when you get to the ground, you recover that energy by flaring to put more pitch in the helicopter to shove more air through it. And then you use that energy to slow yourself down. You lean forward, you use all that rotor speed to accept more collective, which is more pitch, and you cushion your landing. So we'll do another one here, and I'll even try to be more spot on with that 65 knots. That one, like I said, I was a few knots fast, so a little bit off of optimal, but still good. So we're 1,000 feet above the ground right now, doing 80 knots. I'm going to slow it down to 75 knots. Oh, gotta head out. Tom, adios, dude. Thank you always for being here. Thank you for the birthday donation. Holy crap, somebody just blasted through. Thanks for the call. Yeah, dude. I'll see you on the next one. So auto rotation in 3, 2, 1. Governor checked. Not governor checked, collective checked. This is way off of optimal. This is a mess up on my part. But anyways, we're recovering. I wasn't worried about the horn. There's my 65. Maybe a little bit of collective there. 40 foot. Small flare. Bigger flare. Bigger flare, adding some collective. Okay, anyways. 44, no, 206. B3, saving back. Says departure. I love the startup sounds on the 206, so we're going to go through the full thing. Because I could just spawn with it already spinning, but that's not fun, because I like to hear the click, 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 click. Ooh. It's a good sound. Good sound. No pre-flight procedures outside on this one, as it's a downloaded model. Get ourselves in, get ourselves forward, up a wee bit. Pop my knee. And battery. Horn can shut up. Controls free and clear, blah, 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 blah. Fuel valve is good. Throttle. There. Do I just click to start on this one or click and hold? Just click. Cool, things are spinning. Once we get up to 62%, I believe. Taking a minute. Which the other one's got a better sound. Actually, turn this bitch off. We're starting it again. That should be all the way down there. I wanted to do the clicking. I'm the one who clicks. You hear me, helicopter? Look, we're risking a hot start just to listen to a sound, okay? Also, I'm taking the doors off. Hard stop on the rotor brake. Door off. Door off. Door off. Maybe just the window opened? Oh, it's a move up scale. That's dumb. Or maybe I can just have them open when I'm starting. I don't think that's against the rules. Okay, fuel valve on. That there. Batteries on. You're quiet now? What a hack. Even open my doors for you. The only reason we're flying this is to run a few autos. Gee. Hey, over torque, thanks, stupid governor. Blah, 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 we have rotor RPM. Off we go. Get out of here, jump truck. Okay, up, 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 up. Decent night of streaming. Got on at 8. We'll call it here probably after this. So a good 3-hour little birthday get in here. Not too bad. Yeah, let's put my hands on the controls like I'm an actual pilot here and not just like casual it like this. Okay, that's 1,600, 1,700 feet coming up. There we go. Happy with that. Happy with the airspeed. We're at 85 now. We'll slow that down a wee bit. Speedway, traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, making a final turn for runway 24, power off, auto rotation, Speedway. And it will be the same thing. We will turn off the throttle after lowering collective. And we'll do the governor switch too, because I don't know how much that affects this thing. So, down, back, right, close. Torque is showing none. See how much more straight down we're falling in this one versus the 22 where we just kept going forever. So I can almost make this a numbers landing. A little flare. A little flare. Catch it. Push forward. Pull up. kind of hover the auto down. Let her fall. And don't yank back on the cyclic when you hit the ground. You'll chop your tail off. Speedway traffic has referred to which on a right down runway 24 for power off auto speedway. Actually, let's do a 180 auto. Same thing, will be at the same speed, but instead we will be abreast to our landing spot as we enter the auto. So we'll be doing like a downwind leg for our we got our rotation 3, 2, 1. Caught a little high there. Like a glove. Okay, anyways. Valeska, thank you as always for being here. Tom Southeast, Blowheed, Sean, Boleyn, anybody else who I missed. Tristan was in here at one point too. Yeah, thank you everybody so much. It means the world to me. And hopefully we can start the Around the World series back here soon once this film work schedule's over. So, until then, just a few days away, we'll just keep having fun. But, yep, thanks for being here, everybody. As the